overseas. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I now request the guest of honor, Shri Devangshu Dutta, to give his address. Sir.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much to the directors, the faculty of NIF Patna. Thank you, all of you, actually, for inviting me to address this gathering on a day which is significant certainly for the institute, but most certainly for the students graduating in 2019. So, first of all, a big hearty congratulations to all of you. As your classmate mentioned, you've made it. And this is a day, hopefully, you'll remember for the rest of your life. And when the memory starts to fade, at least you'll be able to pull out those old photographs and say, did we actually look like this? You know, that's one of the pleasures of actually going back in time. So I would just like to, I was thinking about what to speak about, and I just thought that perhaps I should just share a few learnings from my own career, having passed out from the first batch of marketing and merchandising in 1990. It was quite a long time ago, if I think about it. But I hope some of these learnings will provide you some food for thought this evening. And if they stick, maybe they'll prove valuable over the period of time in your own career. I think as a graduate of a professional institution, there are maybe 5 life skills that I would like to, or attributes that I would like to highlight, which might be useful to you. Firstly, I would advise you to please approach your work in a way which is integrated rather than distributed. As you enter the industry, you will find that there is a tendency to specialize in tasks. Entry-level roles are generally very specific, very task-specific and functionally specific. And when you look forward in your career, you'll realize that as an individual, you need to make a special effort to not lose sight of the larger picture. You will find that as you grow in your career, the ability to connect the dots and show others the bigger picture is something which is going to be really valuable. And it's going to be more valuable a skill than you can imagine today. Today you will be focused on one function, one particular task. You will be reporting very specifically to your bosses. But make sure that you have the entire picture and you're thinking about the other functions as well. So if you're a designer, and I think maybe 2/3 of you are designers in some form or the other, please spend time and effort in understanding the technicalities of manufacturing or the nuances of marketing or the thrust of business development, because even if you're a designer, you might be ending up owning your own business and you will need to know the nitty-gritty of how the business works. If you're a merchandiser or a technologist, on the other hand, I would urge you to make time to expose yourself to art, music, cinema, because the aesthetics that you absorb from there will help you to actually work with designers better. And what might seem just as entertainment or might even seem to be a waste of time today, it'll actually go a long way in preparing you for leadership roles. You will not only be able to understand your own function, but you'll be actually able to understand what makes others tick and others work better, and the whole organization work better. Secondly, I would urge you to be available to others, no matter what work you do. It's never in isolation. It is always, dependent on the goodwill and support of other people, your colleagues, your peers, within and outside the organization. So, by making yourself available to others, whether to help in a professional situation or a personal situation, you actually lay foundations for relationships that will support you through your career and through your life. And they will support you in ways that you cannot anticipate today. Without exception, all professional success is built upon foundations which are laid by others. This is something which I've seen repeatedly year after year as I've worked. So the best way to express your thanks to the contribution of others is to actually make yourself available to making others succeed. Thirdly, I would say, you might think that as you're graduating today, you may have an illusion, or maybe not, I don't know, that you've learned everything that you need for the rest of your career and that you're set for life. I would say learn, never stop learning, because the world is actually changing faster than ever. And so is the market and the industry that you're going to work in. So if you don't make your skill set something which is refreshed at all time, you might find that if you don't have that hunger to learn, at some point you might be stuck in your career, or you're feeling stuck maybe, and you don't have the tools available to push yourself in a different trajectory, in a different direction, into a different orbit. So keep learning, no matter how old you get. Old is only a term that people use to mark the passage of time. No matter how old you get, just keep learning. Be a student throughout your life. Fourthly, I would say please have integrity in whatever you're doing. Be honest to the work that you do. Be honest to the organization that you work for. Be honest to your colleagues, to your customers, to your suppliers, to your juniors, to people you hire. The word integrity actually has its roots in intact or whole or completeness. And I think that's something which is worth remembering, because when somebody lacks integrity, it is as if they have a split personality. You think something, you do something else, you say something else. You know, if there's a difference between what you're thinking and what you're doing, you actually have to spend or waste energy trying to manage and balance the two. If you think and speak and act in the same way, all your energies get directed in the same direction, and you will actually achieve much more in your life. It could be one of the most difficult pieces of advice that I'm giving you today. You know, as you enter the workspace, you will find integrity is lacking in many ways, and it's very difficult to maintain your own integrity. Please make the effort to protect your integrity and to maintain it as far as you can. And I think it will pay off in building your career as well. I think one thing which all fashion students need to do is adopt a responsible approach to the environment. As students who are graduating from NIFT, it's not a pleasant task for me to remind you that you are going to become part of the second most polluting industry in the world after oil and gas. You know, that's something to take in, something to remember. As the country's economic growth continues, the fashion, consumer products and retail sector will definitely grow. But please don't, you know, it's actually very critical that today's youth question how the industry runs worldwide. Don't just blindly accept that just because the global industry has worked in a certain way for the last 70, 80, 100 years, that it should continue to work and that it's the right way to work. Please question the very fact that the fashion sector runs on planned obsolescence. You must have learned this as students, that, you know, fashions come and go. It is planned. Products are planned actually to be discarded before they actually become useless. So we cast off perfectly useful products because they are out of fashion. And that's something which I think, even though products, you know, there's nothing wrong with the items that we're discarding, it's something which is adding to a problem which we're just pushing into the future. At a recent industry conference, I actually called the fashion industry a zombie industry. Zombies, I know, I'm sure all of you are aware, are, you know, they're supposed to be dead, but they act as if they're alive and they just go about eating people's brains. So fashion, I call it a zombie industry. Please don't become another zombie in a zombie industry. Find ways to fight the waste that fashion and the industry is creating within and outside the industry. If you can make it more sustainable and less wasteful, I think it is your own world that will be a better place to live in. A lot of the people who are sitting on the dais and, you know, many of us outside have lived a certain part of our life. You have all your life to look forward to. So make sure that that world is worth living in. I hope some of this advice that I've given you will have resonated with you. I hope it will prove useful. In closing, I'd just like to mention a few words about the Association of NIFT Alumni, or NIFTA as we call it. After this convocation, all of you are officially NIFT alumni. So it is actually one of the largest bodies of alumni from any professional institution around the world. I think this year, the alumni number, the people who passed out of NIFT from full-time courses would have reached about 30,000 people. That's a very large body of alumni. I would strongly urge you to be an active part of that. You're just beginning your career. Please use the network. Become a member of NIFTA today. As a special gesture, in fact, NIFTA is offering graduating students this year full access to member privileges without charging a membership fee until March 2020. So please go ahead and register on the website. Please make a note of the website address, and sometime today, tomorrow, whenever, but soon, not too late, The website address is nitalumni.org. Go to the website, register yourself as a member, as somebody who's graduated this year, and you'll have full access. And you can use it to network with other alumni. You can find suppliers, you can find customers, you can find jobs. Use it to the best advantage and throughout your career. I mean, you're just starting. There's a long way to go. And I'm sure over time you'll realize what power that network has. I wish you all the very best. Offer you my congratulations again on behalf of other alumni as well. Welcome to the industry. Thank you.